PowerPoint video will explain the only way conservatives can take over the Republican National Committee. Those conservatives who follow this strategy and implement it will eventually take over the Republican National Committee, which will allow them to elect greater numbers of conservatives to office. So ask yourself, who is running the RNC now? Again, only one way exists to take over the Republican National Committee, and that is by getting conservatives into the precinct committeeman slots. Only one proven software tool exists that makes these takeover tasks much easier, and that's our votes. Getting conservatives into the precinct committeeman slots to take over the RNC increases the election odds for all conservative candidates. So here is the formula for running the RNC and eventually the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Have great conservative candidates, plus our vote software, plus digital voter profile files to add to our vote software, plus precinct committeemen to get out the vote, along with campaign volunteers. And the voters to target are the lower information, lower propensity voters who don't pay attention to political advertising. This slide shows the current state of the Republican Party and what it could be if this strategy was carried out. On the left, we have half of the Republican Party precinct committeeman slots vacant, and the half that are filled are split about 50-50 between conservatives and moderates. We have a half-strength, ideologically split party at war with itself, with no message and no ground game. On the right is what it could be if conservatives, about 200,000, filled up all the vacant precinct committeeman slots. We'd have a full-strength, solidly conservative party with a landslide win-producing ability because of all those warm bodies helping to get out the vote for conservatives in the primaries. This chart depicts what all of these conservative groups could be doing if they would work together inside the Republican Party, if they would get their members to become precinct committeemen and fill up those vacant precinct committeeman slots in the local Republican Party committees. All of these groups depicted could unite and be stronger as a united front to get out the vote for conservatives in the primaries. As everyone knows, politics is a pure numbers game, and the most powerful political office holder in that game is the precinct committeeman. The Republican Party has about 400,000 of these volunteer, unpaid part-time offices. They elect all of the officers of the party. They elect indirectly all of the RNC members, and about half of these slots are vacant. In other words, if conservatives wanted to control the Republican Party apparatus, they can, because the party is there for the taking due to all those vacant precinct committeeman slots. So, the paramount number one at all cost goal to focus on is to get into every precinct committeeman slot in the Republican Party a conservative. Don't just take my word for it. Look at what Harry Truman said about being a precinct captain. One of the fundamental lessons I have learned is this: in politics, the work that is done in the precincts is the work that counts most. It's just common sense. President Abraham Lincoln got this way back in 1840. The whole state must be so well organized that every Whig can be brought to the polls. So divide the county into small districts and appoint in each a committee. Make a perfect list of the voters and ascertain with certainty for whom they will vote. Keep a constant watch on the doubtful voters and have them talked to by those in whom they have the most confidence. On election day, see that every Whig is brought to the polls. This was before telephones. We have the internet. We need to be doing this. So keep calm, deplorable swamp drainers, and keep recruiting Trump supporters to become Republican Party precinct committeemen to drain the GOP establishment's swamp. Again, the simple formula for running the RNC and eventually the House, the Senate, and the presidency with conservatives. Have great conservative candidates, add to that our vote software, add to that digital voter profile files, add to that precinct committeemen, add to that campaign volunteers targeting the lower information, lower propensity voters, and you will have eventually control of the RNC, the House, the Senate, and the presidency.